Welcome back, guys, to another follow along mobility session, and today we're going to be doing hips. It's going to be an FRC, functional range conditioning mobility session style, and we'll cover the hips in depth, and we'll start with some rotational movements and then we'll go into linear movements. So for today's session you will need yoga blocks, and if you don't have any yoga blocks you can use a towel, foam roller or something to use so that you can support yourself. And also you will need a band, and if you don't have a band you can use a towel as well. And without further ado, let's begin with internal rotation stretch. And internal rotation stretch will look like this. So you're going to lie down on your back. You're going to bend your right leg 90 degrees, and you're going to lie down so that you have a perfectly straight line between the knee and the hip, and you're going to push down the knee with the left foot. If you have a pain in your right knee, especially in the mid part, you're going to sit down, focus on a 90-90 stretch. You're going to actively try to rotate towards that right foot and stay in this position, okay? And if you don't have the pain, you can just remain in the stretch for 2 minutes. You're gonna focus on diaphragmatic breathing through the belly, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, in through the nose, out through the nose. Really important to not overdo it, so if you're starting to feel that sharp pain inside the knee, then let go and go into that seated position. If you don't feel the pain, just continue to stretch. We've got almost 1 minute. Under 1 minute left. Ten seconds, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And gently come out and switch to the other side. So again, you're gonna place that foot out so that your hip and knee in one line, and you're gonna press that knee with the right foot down towards the floor, focusing on internal rotation of the hip, and focus on the breath for 2 minutes. Same principle, try to relax as much as you can. Relax your face, relax your body. Internal rotation is really forgotten movement in the fitness world. Everyone is focusing on those booty bands, which forces your femur, your bone in your thigh to externally rotate, so it's ruining people's mechanics. So internal rotation is really important to understand in terms of movement quite a lot. So this is one of the forgotten ones that I like to do quite often, especially for squatting, deadlifting, playing soccer. We've got 30 seconds left in the stretch. And after this, we'll do an active internal rotation mobility drill to emphasize and to keep the strength in our internal rotators. Three, two, one, and gently come out. So right now you can grab the foam roller, or you can grab a yoga block, or you can use a fist and place it between your knees. Lie down on your back. You're gonna drive the knees towards the chest, and from here we're gonna try and open our heels externally and drive those heels out as much as you can for 2 seconds and bring it back in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the last one, we're gonna hold, and 5, and push out as much as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good, guys. So that's your internal rotation stretch. And now we're gonna go into our external rotation stretch. So external rotation stretch is going to be in a 90-90 position. You can use 2 blocks to support yourself on the other side. So we're gonna place the foot on top of the block. We're gonna make sure that this knee and this hip is in line. We're gonna support ourselves on the block with the left hand, and the front leg is a 90-90 degree as well. You're gonna gently push that knee down towards the floor. Focusing again on 2-minute stretch. My timer is starting, and let's go, guys. I'm gonna hold this position, again focusing on nice and upright torso. If you're feeling it too much in the hip, drop down to your elbow, okay? And I quite like this one because it also gets into that adductor on the other side. You might feel a little bit of jamming sensation on this side in terms of the hip bone or the pelvis. We've got 1 more minute to go. This is nothing too fancy. We don't want to feel the pain anywhere. We just want to relax and feel a little bit of a stretch, adapting and increasing the tolerance for different positions. We've got 10 seconds, guys, and then I'll get you to drive down with that foot into the block, contracting all the muscles around the hips. 3, 2, 1. Irradiate the body, create the tension everywhere, and drive that foot into the block. 20% effort, 40% effort, driving down, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you're gonna place something underneath this knee, extend the right leg, drop to your elbow, so the elbow underneath the shoulder, and you're going to lift off this foot off the block and you're gonna try and lift it as much as you can. This is your active and external rotation. Keep lifting. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good, guys. If you want to repeat that, you can repeat that again. Grab the foot and then stretch that externally, drop back down, and repeat the same process. But we're gonna switch the sides. So now you'll see me on the other side. So again, use the block to support on the other side, 90-degree angle. And same 2-minute stretch. My right side feels a little bit tighter than the left because I use my right leg playing football quite a lot, so it feels a lot tighter. Again, if you feel quite tight, you can drop down to your elbow. Go 1 more minute left in the stretch. Breathing. I'm going to just elevate the foot a little bit more if I need to, because my right leg is a little bit more tighter. Feel free to elevate it as well if you need to. "30 seconds left, guys. Important to remember that rotational capacity in the shoulders and hips is really important to not get arthritis later in life. So making sure that the capsule is able to rotate internally and externally before you emphasize linear rotation or linear movement, sorry. 3, 2, 1. Create tension in the entire body and then drive that foot into the block. Pushing down, driving a little bit harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, place that block underneath the knee, and we're gonna try and lift off as high as we can for 20 seconds to reinforce that external active mobility and pushing, making sure that we're using those right muscles. The right knee remains on the floor while I drive the right foot off the block. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If it doesn't lift off the block, that's totally okay, as long as you contract those muscles and feel the contraction. It's still working, guys. So make sure that you don't get too upset if it doesn't lift off the block. So the next stretch, guys, is going to be hamstring stretch. We're gonna need a towel or a band to make sure that we stretch the hamstring, and we're gonna hold this position for 2 minutes again. And begin the stretch, focusing on the knee being locked, keeping this foot above, and if it's too hard, then use a big sort of towel or longer towel so that you can feel the stretch if you're too tight. 1 minute to go, guys. Keep stretching, keep relaxing, keep breathing. So we know the drill here. After 30 seconds, we're gonna push that leg into the band and contract. So this is isometric contraction, pales contraction, progressive angular isometric loading, pushing away from the body. And then we're gonna repeat by pulling our leg towards our body. After the pales, we do the rails, which is regressive angular isometric loading. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push, contract both legs and push down into the band. You'll feel the hamstring locking the knee out, pushing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch a little bit further. You'll see 10 to 15 degrees of freedom. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now keep those fists nice and tight and create the tension throughout the whole body, and pull that leg towards your chest as hard as you can, locking that knee. The body might shake a little bit, that means it's excited. You might get a little bit of a cramp as well, don't freak out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, guys. And we're gonna switch to the other side. Repeat the same process with the hamstring on this side. So left leg. Got 1 more minute to go. Thirty seconds. Almost there. Five, 4, 3, 2, and push into that band, contract. 20% effort, not too hard so that you don't strain the muscle. 40% effort. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax and pull that leg towards your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Create the tension in your arms, the whole body, both legs, and actively trying to pull it towards your chest. 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good, guys. So we've done internal, external, and also our hamstring. So now basically we're going to do a hip extension. This is called a couch stretch. So you're going to place your foot on the wall, and really important to keep the knee away from the wall so that you actually feel the stretch in your groin, not in the knee. So currently our knee is in flexion. We're gonna hold 2-minute stretch in this one, and I want you to drive that hip ever so slightly forward so you feel that stretch in your groin, okay? Again, this is a pails and rails contraction, followed after the passive stretch. We'll follow with pails and rails, sorry. Holding, breathing. We got 1 more minute. "30 seconds, guys. Almost there." I'm just watching the clock on that side because there's a class starting here next soon. So in 3 seconds, we're gonna push the foot into the wall. 3, 2, 1, and drive the foot into the wall. This is pails contraction for 20 seconds, pushing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place your hands on the ground, and then drive that hip forward into hip extension, and you try and lift that foot off the wall, feeling the contraction in your hamstring. You might get a cramp in the hamstring as well while driving the hip down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back on the wall, and then try and lean as much as you can forward for 10 more seconds. 10. And time. Very good, guys. And we're gonna switch our sides. Focus on 2 minutes. Again, try and keep that distance away from the wall with the knee while the foot is flat on the wall in the plantar flexion position, and you're pushing that hip ever so slightly into the hip joint so that you feel the stretch across the groin, not in the knee. One more minute, guys. Sometimes I use something in here as well, like a mobility stick or broomstick, just so that there's a little bit of support with my right hand. "30 seconds left in the stretch. "10 seconds. Three, 2, 1, contract and push the foot into the wall. 20-second contraction. Three, 2, 1. Place the hands on the ground, drive that hip into an extension and lift that foot off the wall, contracting the hamstring. Lifting off the wall. If it doesn't come off the wall, that's okay, just as long as you practice every time contracting the opposite muscles to reinforce the passive stretching with active mobility work. 3, 2, 1. Back on the wall and lean into the hip stretch for 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good, guys. And the last stretch. And the last stretch is going to be a frog stretch, and we're going to focus on bringing our knees as wide as we can into abduction and keeping our feet turned out in line with our knees. And we focus on this position for about 2 minutes. Okay, same principle. After the 2 minutes, we're gonna drive the knees into the floor, contracting the inner thighs, your adductor muscle. And then after the 20 seconds, we're gonna actively trying to push the knees out, contracting the opposite muscles like glute med. You're almost down, guys. So we've done this type of stretching on the shoulders as well. So check out FRC shoulder mobility follow along session if you like this type of stretching. Again, this is the sort of the gold standard, is to not always passively stretch, but also reinforce the muscles by using active mobility work so that you keep that ranges of motion, because passive stretch is going to give you some range for 2 to 3 days, and then it goes back to the normal sort of tightness. So again, mobility is more important than flexibility. Flexibility is passively pushing yourself into the ranges. Mobility is to actively push yourself into those positions. Okay, 10 more seconds, guys, and then we're pushing those knees into the ground. 3, 2, 1, and push down. Contracting all the muscles around the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and try and drive those knees out, actively trying to push the legs apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax and gently come out of the stretch. And there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for doing this follow along session today. I really appreciate your time. Please comment down below if you want to see anything specific in the future. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next session. Remember, motion is lotion.